There's something happening to you right now, something invisible, something profound. Your brain is shifting into a different frequency as you listen to these words. The beta waves of your everyday thinking are beginning to slow. Your nervous system is recognizing something it's been waiting for, a truth you've always known, but perhaps never fully embodied. You are not here by accident. You found this moment because some part of you, the part that exists beyond time, beyond limitation, beyond the stories you've been told about what's possible, that part of you has been calling you here, calling you home to who you really are. Right now, as your consciousness settles into this space, your brain waves are naturally descending from the rushing urgency of beta into the calm clarity of alpha. This is where transformation begins, not in the doing, but in the being, not in the having, but in the becoming. This is quantum embodiment, and it's the most powerful force for change that exists in your reality. You see, abundance isn't something you chase, it's something you become. Wealth isn't something you attract from outside yourself, it's something you remember from within. Every billionaire, every person who lives in true abundance, has discovered this one profound secret. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. This isn't metaphysical theory, this is quantum physics. This is neuroscience. This is the marriage of ancient wisdom and modern understanding, and it's happening in your body right now as your heart rate variability shifts into coherence, as your electromagnetic field expands, as every cell in your being begins to remember what it feels like to live from abundance rather than lack. Your consciousness is like water, and whatever frequency you hold consistently becomes the ocean of your experience. When you embody the energy of abundance, when you literally become the person who already has what you desire, reality has no choice but to match that frequency. This is the observer effect. This is quantum entanglement with your highest timeline. This is how you step into the version of yourself that already exists in the field of infinite possibility. But here's what most people miss. They think abundance is about money. They think it's about accumulating things, gathering possessions, building bigger bank accounts. And while those things may come, true abundance is an inner state. It's a nervous system that feels safe to receive. It's a heart that beats in rhythm with gratitude. It's a mind that naturally sees opportunity where others see obstacles. The billionaires who maintain their wealth, who continue to create and expand and flow with resources, they've cracked the code of embodiment. They don't hope for abundance. They don't wish for prosperity. They are abundance. They are prosperity. Every cell, every breath, every heartbeat carries the frequency of someone who belongs in wealth, who feels natural in expansion, who trusts the universe to provide because they know themselves as the universe itself. This is your invitation into that knowing, into that becoming, into that remembering of who you've always been beneath the conditioning, beneath the fear, beneath the small stories that taught you to dim your light and shrink your dreams. As we journey together through this awakening, you're going to discover 3 profound energetic shifts that will reprogram your entire relationship with abundance. First, you'll learn how to regulate your nervous system into the frequency of receiving, so your body literally becomes a magnet for prosperity. Second, you'll discover how to anchor elevated emotional states that create neural pathways aligned with wealth consciousness. And third, you'll master the art of living from your future self, the version of you that already embodies everything you desire. These aren't techniques you practice. These are ways of being you embody. This is your consciousness remembering its natural state of abundance, your energy field aligning with its highest expression, your very existence becoming a vibrational match for the life you came here to live. You're ready for this. Your soul is ready. Your future self is calling you forward, and every breath you take from this moment on is an opportunity to step deeper into the truth of who you are. Let's begin with the first fundamental shift, nervous system regulation into the frequency of receiving. Your autonomic nervous system is the gateway between your inner world and your outer experience. When your nervous system is activated, when you're living in fight or flight, when stress hormones flood your bloodstream, your entire being broadcasts the frequency of survival, and survival energy repels abundance. Think about it. When you're stressed, when you're worried about money, when you're anxious about the future, your electromagnetic field contracts. Your heart rate becomes erratic. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your body literally communicates to the quantum field that you are unsafe, that resources are scarce, that life is something to be feared rather than celebrated. But when you consciously shift into parasympathetic activation, into the rest and digest response, into the tend and befriend state, everything changes. Your heart rate variability increases, or breathing deepens. Your electromagnetic field expands up to 8 feet around your body, and within that field, you become a walking invitation for abundance to find you. This is what the wealthiest people on the planet understand intuitively. They don't hustle from desperation. They don't grasp from fear. They create from a place of inner fullness, inner safety, inner knowing that the universe is abundant and they are worthy of receiving its gifts. So right now, as you listen to these words, I want you to notice your breath. Notice how it wants to deepen. Notice how your shoulders want to drop. Notice how your jaw wants to soften. This is your nervous system remembering its natural state of receptivity. This is your body preparing to receive. Feel your heart now. Place your attention there in the center of your chest. Breathe into that space. With each inhale, imagine you're breathing in golden light, pure abundance, pure possibility, pure love. With each exhale, imagine you're releasing any contraction, any fear, any old stories about not being worthy or not being enough. Your heart is the most powerful electromagnetic organ in your body. When your heart is coherent, when it's beating in a rhythm of appreciation and gratitude and love, it sends a signal to your brain that says, "We are safe, we are loved, we are provided for." This signal literally rewires your neural pathways, creating new connections that support abundance rather than scarcity. This is neuroplasticity in action. This is epigenetics responding to your internal environment. This is your biology becoming your biography, and your biography becoming one of prosperity and flow and ease. Now, as your nervous system settles into this frequency of receiving, I want you to feel into what it would be like if abundance was your natural state. Not something you're trying to get, but something you already are. How would you breathe if you knew you were infinitely provided for? How would you hold your body if you trusted completely in the benevolence of life? Feel that now. Let your cells remember. Let your DNA activate the patterns of prosperity that have always been available to you. You are literally rewiring your biofield to match the frequency of wealth consciousness. This brings us to the second profound shift, anchoring elevated emotional states that create abundance-aligned neural pathways. Your emotions are not just feelings, they are frequencies. They are electromagnetic signatures that you broadcast to the quantum field 24 hours a day. And the universe responds not to your words, not to your thoughts, but to your emotional state. When you feel grateful before you have something to be grateful for, you create the neural pathway of gratitude. When you feel abundant before abundance shows up in your physical reality, you literally train your brain to perceive and receive abundance. This is how you become a vibrational match for what you desire. The billionaires who maintain their wealth understand this intuitively. They don't wait to feel successful until they've achieved success. They feel successful first, and success follows. They don't wait to feel abundant until money appears in their bank account. They cultivate the feeling of abundance first, and money flows to match that feeling. This is the secret of emotional alchemy. You become the creator of your emotional state rather than the victim of your circumstances. You choose gratitude over complaint. You choose appreciation over criticism. You choose excitement over anxiety. You choose trust over fear. And here's the beautiful thing. Your brain doesn't know the difference between something you're vividly imagining and something that's actually happening. When you feel into the emotion of already having what you desire, your neural networks begin to fire and wire together in patterns that support that reality. So let's practice this now. Think about your biggest financial goal. Maybe it's earning your first $1 million. Maybe it's creating multiple streams of passive income. Maybe it's building a business that serves thousands of people while generating enormous wealth. Whatever it is, I want you to feel into already having achieved it. Don't think about how it will happen. Don't worry about the timeline. Just feel into the emotional state of already living that reality. How do you feel when you wake up in the morning knowing you're financially free? How do you feel when you check your bank account and see more money than you ever imagined possible? How do you feel when you realize you get to spend your days doing what you love while money flows to you effortlessly? Feel that gratitude. Feel that freedom. Feel that excitement. Feel that deep sense of fulfillment and purpose and joy. This is not fantasy. This is not pretending. This is you accessing the emotional frequency of your future self and anchoring it in your present moment awareness. Your nervous system is learning. Your brain is rewiring. Your heart is coherent. You are literally becoming the person who lives that reality, and as you become that person, that reality becomes inevitable. This elevated emotional state is your new baseline. This feeling of abundance, of gratitude, of excitement for what's unfolding, this becomes your natural way of being. Not something you have to force or fake, but something that flows from the deepest recognition of your inherent worthiness. Now we come to the third and most powerful shift, living from your future self. This is where quantum manifestation becomes quantum embodiment. This is where you stop trying to attract abundance and start being abundance. Your future self, the version of you that already has everything you desire, exists right now in the quantum field. This isn't metaphysical speculation. This is quantum physics. All possibilities exist simultaneously in the field of potential, and your consciousness is what collapses those possibilities into physical reality. When you live from your future self, you make decisions from that expanded identity. You think thoughts from that elevated consciousness. You feel emotions from that abundant state. You take actions from that wealthy mindset. You literally become the person you're growing into, and reality shifts to match that new version of you. Think about the version of yourself that has already achieved everything you desire. How does that person think about money? How do they approach opportunities? How do they treat other people? How do they take care of their body? How do they structure their days? How do they respond to challenges? That person isn't worried about money because they understand that they are the source of their own abundance. That person doesn't chase opportunities because they know they are magnetic to the right opportunities. That person doesn't compete with others because they understand there's infinite abundance for everyone. That person doesn't stress about the future because they trust in their ability to create whatever they need. This is the consciousness you're stepping into. This is the identity you're embodying. This is the frequency you're broadcasting from this moment forward. And here's what happens when you consistently live from this elevated identity. Your external world begins to reflect your internal transformation. People start responding to you differently because you're carrying yourself differently. Opportunities start appearing because you're vibrating at the frequency that attracts them. Money starts flowing because you've become a person who naturally receives and circulates wealth. This isn't about pretending or faking it until you make it. This is about recognizing who you really are beneath all the conditioning and fear and small thinking. This is about remembering that abundance is your birthright, prosperity is your natural state, and wealth is simply life force energy flowing through the channel of your authentic expression. As you embody this identity more and more, you'll notice something magical happening. You'll stop trying so hard. You'll stop pushing and forcing and struggling. You'll start flowing. You'll start trusting. You'll start allowing the universe to provide for you in ways that feel effortless and natural and joyful. This is what it means to live in alignment with your highest timeline. This is what it means to collapse time and space and step into the reality that's already yours. This is what it means to become the person who doesn't just have abundance, but who is abundance itself. Your breath is deeper now. Your heart is more coherent. Your nervous system is calibrated to receiving. Your emotional state is anchored in gratitude and excitement and trust. Your identity is expanding to include the full magnitude of your potential. You are no longer the person who hopes for abundance. You are the person who embodies abundance. You are no longer the person who tries to attract wealth. You are the person who is wealth. You are no longer the person who dreams of a better future. You are the person who is living that future right now. This is quantum embodiment. This is consciousness creating reality. This is you remembering who you've always been and finally having the courage to live from that truth. Underscore, 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 underscore. Something has shifted inside you during our time together. Something fundamental. Something irreversible. You can feel it in your cells, in your heartbeat, in the way you're breathing. You've accessed a frequency you may have forgotten existed. You've remembered a truth that was always there, waiting for you to claim it. You are not the same person who began listening to these words. That version of you, the one who was searching, seeking, hoping for abundance from outside yourself, that person is dissolving into a new identity. An identity that knows itself as the source of its own prosperity. An identity that trusts in its inherent worthiness. An identity that understands abundance not as something to get, but as something to be. Right now, in this moment, you are living from your future self. The thoughts moving through your awareness are the thoughts of someone who has everything they desire. The emotions flowing through your heart are the emotions of someone who is deeply fulfilled and financially free. The energy radiating from your being is the energy of someone who belongs in wealth, who feels natural in expansion, who trusts completely in the benevolence of life. This is not a temporary state. This is not something that will fade when you return to your regular life. This is your new baseline. This is your new normal. This is who you are now and who you will continue to become more fully with each passing day. Your nervous system has been calibrated to receiving. Your heart has been attuned to coherence. Your brain has been rewired for abundance. Your electromagnetic field has been expanded to attract prosperity. Your very DNA has been activated to express the patterns of wealth consciousness that have always been your birthright. The billionaires of the world, the truly abundant ones, who create from joy rather than fear, who build from inspiration rather than desperation, they hold the same frequency you're holding right now. They breathe the same rhythm you're breathing right now. They feel the same trust you're feeling right now. You have joined their ranks not through accumulation, but through embodiment. Not through having, but through being. Not through getting, but through becoming. From this moment forward, every decision you make will be filtered through this new identity. Every opportunity that presents itself will be evaluated through this expanded consciousness. Every interaction you have will be informed by this elevated frequency. You will move through the world as someone who belongs in abundance because you will know, with every fiber of your being, that abundance belongs in you. The evidence will follow the energy. The results will follow the embodiment. The having will follow the being. This is the natural order of creation. This is how the universe works. This is how you work when you're aligned with your highest potential. You are no longer waiting for abundance. Abundance is waiting for you to fully claim it. You are no longer hoping for prosperity. Prosperity is hoping you'll finally recognize it as your natural state. You are no longer seeking wealth. Wealth is seeking expression through the channel of your unique gifts and talents and vision. This is your moment. This is your calling. This is your remembering of who you came here to be. Rise up now. Rise into the fullness of your abundance. Rise into the truth of your worthiness. Rise into the knowing that you are not just deserving of wealth, but that you are wealth itself in human form. Trust what you're feeling. Trust what you're knowing. Trust what's awakening inside you. This is not delusion. This is not fantasy. This is reality recognizing itself through your consciousness. This is the universe celebrating your return to remembering who you really are. You are abundant. You have always been abundant. You will always be abundant. This is your truth. This is your reality. This is your life, lived from the frequency of infinite possibility. Welcome home to yourself. Welcome home to your abundance. Welcome home to the life you came here to live.